What's the maximum number of hours you could work in a day? 24 hours, right? So if you didn't sleep all day, you could work 24 straight hours. What if you didn't sleep for a whole year? You could actually work 8,760 hours in 1 year. But that's the maximum number of hours you could work in a year. I have 56,000 people in my organization worldwide. Well, let's suppose that all 56,000 people work just 1 hour out of a year. 56,000 people times 1 hour each equals 56,000 hours of work that I'm being paid on. Well, for most people to earn on 56,000 hours of work, they'd have to work for over 6 years, 24 hours a day without sleep to put in the same amount of hours that I could in 1 hour a year. Let me throw in something really ridiculous. Suppose all my 56,000 people worked 1 8-hour day in a year. 56,000 people times 8 hours is 448,000 hours I'm being paid on. Well, it would take most people working over 51 years, 24 hours a day, to do what I could do in 8 hours a year. 8 hours in 1 year versus 51 years working 24 hours a day? Doesn't seem fair, does it? It's definitely not fair. What's not fair is that you haven't understood this until today, and other people have. But now that you understand it, take responsibility for it. Don't go running and try to create reasons why you can't do this. You can do this. I don't say any of this to impress you. I don't need to impress you. This is an educational-only video. My purpose in creating this tool is to contribute back to that woodpile that so generously gave to me. Because network marketing has given me a lifestyle I previously couldn't have imagined. And because network marketing has given me total financial and time freedom, I feel it my responsibility to explain the industry in an understandable way. So I say all of this only to impress upon you that the difference between the wealthy and everyone else is leverage. You've got to understand that. And nothing gives you, the individual, leverage in such an ethical way like network marketing can. The reason so many people are coming into network marketing is because people want control of their life. They want a quality of life, and network marketing truly offers that. I hear people all the time complaining that they are too busy or don't have enough time. People act as though time owns them instead of them owning time. Have you ever noticed that there are people who, with 24 hours, earn $10,000 a year, and there are people in the same 24 hours who earn $10 million a year? Let me explain the difference. I've heard people say this phrase: it's easier to just do it myself than try to get other people to do it. Whenever I hear that phrase, I know that person just nailed their feet to the floor. All they can do is expend their time, not invest their time. Here's a secret. Wealth is hidden from those who must do it all themselves. Wealth exposes itself to those patient enough to train others. When you understand the power of educating and empowering others so that you get more done, you're truly on your way to wealth. Now, with that understanding of the importance of training others so you get more done, look at network marketing, and you'll see why I call it brilliant compensation. Warren Buffett owns a network marketing company. If you don't know who he is, he's typically listed in the top 5 richest people in the world. He created his wealth by investing in and buying the highest quality companies. Why do you think Microsoft or AT&T, Gillette, Colgate, Citibank, IBM, Toyota, Xerox, Texas Instruments, General Motors, General Electric, AOL, Oracle, Sun Microsystems, Coca-Cola, and many others distribute some or all of their products and services through network marketing? They use this method to distribute products because network marketing is a very efficient model to distribute products and services. These large corporations are firm testimony to the industry's success and credibility. This confirms what Professor King was saying about that the industry has come of age and is now a true profession. In network marketing, you, the individual, are given the opportunity to earn off the productivity of the people in your organization, whether you personally sponsor them or someone in your organization sponsors them. Remember that I said to reach true leverage, you must create a situation where everyone has the same amount to gain. Well, that's what I just described. Here's what makes the network marketing structure the absolute fairest structure available. In most network marketing companies, Everyone can earn a certain number of levels deep of the organization they build. Everyone in the company can earn that same number of levels deep, like maybe 4 levels deep or 6 levels deep. Let's say we use 4 levels. So if you build an organization to be more productive, then you would earn more money than I would, even if you were in my organization. In the example shown, you would earn on 3 levels I couldn't reach, because everyone gets the same number of levels. There are people in my organization right now that earn more money than I do. Do you know what I call that? Fair. Shouldn't it be that way? I mean, take any structure. Shouldn't the most productive person in that structure make the most money? Let me explain another kind of leverage that's available to everyone, including yourself. Incidentally, if you get nothing more out of this video than a better understanding of this little simple concept I'm going to explain, you'll have gained something very valuable for watching it. Imagine, if you will, you own a company. You employ just one person, me. I work for 8 hours on Monday. You work for the same 8 hours on Monday that I do. Now listen closely. You get paid on 16 hours worth of work because you take a portion of my productivity as income back to yourself. You're leveraging off my efforts because I'm your employee. So theoretically, the more employees you have working for you, the more leverage you have. However, have you ever had employees? If you have, you know that in theory, hiring employees sounds great, but it's very difficult to reach leverage through employees. I've heard it said that if you have 1 employee, you have 1 headache. If you have 100 employees, you run an adult daycare center. And the reason being is this: no employee will ever work as hard for your company as you will, because they don't own it. Here's my rule of thumb for reaching true leverage. If there's one sentence that epitomizes the entire video, it would be this: to have true leverage, you must create a situation where everyone has the same amount to gain. Only then do you have true leverage. Let me give you an example of this type of leverage. Let's say that I'm a real estate broker, and I hire an agent named Robert. Robert goes out and sells a building. Robert earns a percentage of the selling price of the building, and so do I, the broker. Why do I, the broker, earn a percentage when it was Robert who sold the building? Well, I did some of the advertising. I trained Robert. I had the initiative to go get my broker's license in the first place. I put up the risk. I did a lot of things. And so it's valid that I, as the broker, earn my money. But Robert doesn't work for me as an employee. He's an independent contractor. He just hangs his real estate license on my wall. My point here is the broker and the agent have the same amount to gain from the sale of the home. It is totally in the agent's interest to earn more money, which is a form of leverage for the broker. There is a flaw in this leverage situation that I've shown you, and it's this: the broker can have multiple agents, but the agents cannot. The broker has leverage. The agents don't. Until the agents do what most brokers dread. What happens when I, the broker, have been real effective at teaching Robert to be a good agent? What's Robert going to want to do in a couple of years? Be his own broker, right? Is this good for me, the broker? No, because as soon as he becomes a broker, 2 bad things happen to me. Number 1, he breaks away from me and I lose him as an income source. And 2, worse than that, he's now my competitor that I trained. He knows all my good stuff. During all cycles of the economy, there are people who are making money and losing money. The makers are the ones in front of large trends. The losers disregard trends. How do you get in front of large trends? You study what creates them. Without any hesitation, in today's society, it's the baby boom generation that creates the largest trends. The baby boomers are a group of babies born between 1946 and 1964. There were 76 million of them born in the United States, 1 billion of them worldwide. Why is this group so talked about? They're 1/3 of the U.S. population and control 65% of all the money. I've likened the magnitude of all those babies to a basketball moving through a garden hose. They reshape every industry they go through. See, if you can predict where this basketball is going down the garden hose, you possess the ability to make fortunes. I want to give you some historical examples of the obvious buying patterns of these boomers. It started with a company called Gerber back in 1940, who were barely known. But by 1955, just 10 years after the boomers were born, they had sold 1.8 billion jars of strained baby food. As the boomers took their first steps, it was Buster Brown and Kenny Shoes. When the boomers went out to play, Mattel and Hasbro got rich, providing toys to this young group. In 1957, we built more elementary schools in the U.S. in 1 year just to handle the overflow than we did in any 12-year period before or after. As the boomers went through their teens, Dairy Queen, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken became billion-dollar companies feeding the boomers. When the boomers moved through their 20s and 30s, which was in the mid-70s, what was the industry to be in? Real estate. Why? Because the boomers had heard from their parents one time too many, as long as you're living under my roof, you'll do as I say. So they wanted their own roof, which created a 15-year real estate boom. And people are still talking today about the great time frame to be in real estate.